Crescent City Steakhouse, a true neighborhood restaurant operated by the Vojkovic family since 1934. It is the oldest steakhouse in the city of New Orleans. Serving only hand-cut, prime-aged, corn-fed beef for over 80 years, Crescent City Steakhouse has become a dining destination for both die-hard locals and adventurous travelers who seek traditional, timeless New Orleans cuisine. Crescent City Steakhouse, 1001 North Broad, on the corner of St. Philip, in the heart of New Orleans.
Hey, don't forget my pimento cheese. Of course.
It's okay, I'll take it from here.
Hey, the guy get a seat!
For the love of palmetto cheese.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 1-800-653-9968.
Well, here's the bottom line. Well, it's funny that you say that. Let me tell you. Good evening and welcome to Primetime Sports. Happy Mardi Gras, everyone. It is definitely upon us. We had the first big weekend of parades, and of course, the next weekend, you know what that is. Hermes on Friday, Endymion on Saturday, Bacchus on Sunday, and of course, Big Rex on Tuesday. Hey, this is going to be a great sports week, too. Listen, the NOLA Gold, they went out and did their business, 46-13. What a time to start off the Shrine on Airline. Now the Gold Mine on Airline with that first big win. How about the Pelicans? This team is on a roll. They're fighting hard for that last playoff spot. It's the All-Star break. Let's see what they do in the second half. And this is college baseball time. Every year this time of year, we have some coaches on. That's what that. It just started this weekend. So I've got Travis Jewett from Tulane and, of course, Blake Dean from UNO. We'll get Paul Maneri down the line. But stay tuned. It's Primetime Sports coming up next.
Make no mistake about it, life's more fun with seafood.
Oysters don't swim.
They do in butter.
What'd you get? A little bit of everything to make everyone happy.
Acme Oyster House. Life really is more fun with seafood.
Did you know that GMFS Mortgage is the largest independent mortgage company in Louisiana? Their 250 employees have helped over 79,000 customers make the dream of home ownership come true. They funded over $12.9 billion in loans right here in Southeast Louisiana. If you're ready to buy, build, or renovate a new home, or just need to refinance, call the company born and raised here, GMFS Mortgage.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 1-800-653-9968.
Rock and roll will never die. It's old New Orleans, my, oh my.
Come on, baby, let's go rock and roll at the city lane. All night, let's roll, let's rock and roll. Baby, do the rock and roll. At Mid-City Lane's the home of rock and roll.
Hey, don't forget my pimento cheese.
Of course. It's okay. I'll take it from here.
Hey, can I get a seat?
For the love of palmetto cheese. Primetime Sports with Scott Alexander is underwritten by Task Performance.
Hey, welcome back to Primetime Sports, and I love this time of year. It's become a tradition over the last 5 years. Since I started the show, basically, we have had the baseball coaches come on, from Paul Maneri to obviously Rick Jones when he was at Tulane, and Ron Maestri when he was at UNO, and the guys that have been here lately. Obviously, Blake Dean at UNO, Travis Jewett at Tulane, and of course, there's still Paul Maneri at LSU. And we also have the ones from SLU and Nichols when we have time for that. But today, it's Blake Dean, the former LSU superstar, the All-American, the All-SEC player, and the 2009 World Series champs. He went to UNO, and they had won 5 games and lost 55 2 years before. His first year, over 30 wins. They do that on a regular basis. And here he is again for the 5th consecutive year since he started the show in 3 different studios, Blake Dean. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, my man? Thanks for having me.
So if you need an agent, you know who to talk to.
That's
I'll
right.
talk you up, all right?
That's it.
All right. 5 years. The first thing I want to do is, where has this program gone from when you took over? I know one of your mentors, Ron Maestri, kind of took it back from the ashes, and you took over from him when you were hitting coach. Where's it gone from then to now?
Well, we've built the consistency. You know, that was the key when we got here, was just growing this thing back to a respectable program that it once was, and getting into the stigma out of people's mind. You know, everyone was kind of second-guessing UNO. Were they keeping sports? Were they dropping sports? You know, that was the stigma around the city. So now we've finally got it built back up. I think we've got some administrators in place who believe in it and want sports at UNO, obviously. And now we're starting to get in-state kids. We're starting to get the high school kids we want, the players we want, and we're starting to take it to the next level.
I mean, I'm going to say, speaking of the next level, I mean, I'm a big proponent of UNO sports. I mean, you know, Mark Schlesinger's on here a lot. The Tsunami and I have been to a lot of those games, been to some of your games as well. You got a new athletic director. He was on the show about 3 months ago, Tim Duncan, and I'm just curious how this effect is going and what's the future for UNO with him.
To be honest with you, I love his energy. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know where he's going to take it from an athletic director standpoint, but I just love the persona he puts out, the energy. He's out among the people all the time in the city, and that's what UNO needs. We need a face back out there, and he's been doing an awesome job with it. And again, he's a sports guy too. Played basketball in college.
Knows it.
You know, so he knows what it takes. He knows what it means to be a student athlete, so I'm excited to have him at the helm.
Yeah, he's got the business side down, but he also played the sport, so he knows what the coaches and players need. As far as you growing up, I think you're a Panhandle guy from Florida, right? Obviously, you went down the road to LSU. You didn't know a whole lot about UNO, did you, growing up? Or if you did, tell me what it was.
Heck, I didn't know anything about LSU, to be honest with you. You know, I grew up in Florida. It was honestly, I was an Alabama fan growing up. So.
Oh my.
Yeah, I know. I know. Tides have changed. They've changed.
I got it.
But honestly, I didn't know much about UNO. The only thing I knew is once I started getting into coaching, Coach Maneri told me he played at UNO for Ron Maestri. I knew when I was playing at LSU, UNO was really good when Tom Walter was here, or they were in a couple regionals. So they were, you know, really talented there. And it's just something that finally I figured out after Coach Maneri had told me kind of how they are, and got down here and got to see it for myself.
Hey, by the way, you have some returning players. I want to hear about them. Obviously, you started this past weekend. We're on Sunday night. You just finished a nice 3-game series. Did very well. Congratulations. But as far as the players you have that are dynamic coming back, I know you have a few stories, but tell me a little bit about the second baseman, for instance, and the rest of the team.
Yeah, so Salo Isa is our second baseman. He's from down in Miami. Was the first ever Gold Glove winner at UNO last year, which basically means he was the best college defensive second baseman in the country.
And 300 and something teams.
Yeah,
I mean, this isn't like in football. There's only 120, 130 D1, so that's amazing.
Correct. Yeah, it was awesome. I think he only made 4 errors the whole year, and 2 of them were like in one game. So.
Right.
He's back. Our middle's back. So they turned over, him and Darren Willis turned over 50 double plays last year together. So excited about those guys. And then we have a guy named Eric Orzi who was a guy who actually got sick last year, missed the season with cancer. So he has busted his tail. He's worked really, really hard, put on a lot of weight, gained his strength back, and hopefully they're going to be an impact guy for us this year.
So a guy that had cancer last year, missed the entire season, is coming back, and he might be your #1 starter. That's a great story. How does that happen?
Well, again, it's one of those freak things. One day he's just, coach, I'm not feeling right. Long story short, goes to the doctor, and on the spot they tell him he's got cancer. And it pretty much, it rocks your world. That rocked his world, set him back a little bit. Then he basically, I think it was a wake-up call. He's busted his tail ever since then and just devoted the way he eats, he sleeps, everything, his workout, to come back and just be what he wants to be, and that's a Major League Baseball player one day.
By the way, I've seen it firsthand, but you're a relentless recruiter. I mean, you're very good at what you do. I mean, obviously, you have a pedigree, and that helps. I mean, you can tell people the route to get there. New Orleans, I think you mentioned Willis. I think he's a Rummel guy. Am I not mistaken? See, I do watch.
There you go.
What's your thing with New Orleans guys? Obviously, there's a history. A lot of them going to LSU. Some go to Tulane. Some get away. How do you get the top guys to come to UNO?
Well, it's just our performance, first of all, has to be top-notch. So when you're not winning many games, you're not going to attract that crop of kids. Kind of what we've done now is we've got some former alumni that played at UNO that work at facilities and different things now. We've built our connections, built our relationships, and we're starting to get more kids out. So the younger you get the kids out to UNO, the more valid is in their mind growing up. They're back at the park again. Everyone I talk to now is like, I used to come to UNO 30 years ago when I was a kid.
Yes, I did. Right.
Exactly. So I think that's kind of the key for us, just getting that younger generation back out there, getting them involved, letting them have fun, and then from there it makes recruiting them a little bit easier.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, I've said this on this show a lot. Before LSU went to all those World Series in a row, and then when he was on the tail end of all that run, I mean, they're still going to occasionally, but UNO was the first team from Louisiana to ever go to the College World Series, 1984. I remember a couple of those guys I played high school with, and they were great players. But that's the tradition I'm talking about. It even goes back to the 70s when Ron Maestri was like the youngest coach in D1. You took over as a young coach in D1. Like, listen, we all have aspirations, and I know you want to make UNO great. What's your goal for this, not just this season, but for UNO in the future?
Just to be consistent. You know, anywhere wherever I go in my baseball coaching career, I'm happy here. I love it here. I want to see this thing continue to grow and be consistently in regionals every year. Heck, I'd like to be the first team to make it to a super regional and then potentially make it to Omaha, be a Cinderella story, right? So
it's not impossible. We've seen College of Charleston. I mean, not College of Charleston. We saw the Coastal Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they win the championship?
Well, they did. I mean, so it's possible, right? It's there.
Yeah.
I just want to. My biggest goal at the end of the day is to basically take this thing back to where Coach Maestri had it, and he comes to every game, almost every practice, just to see the smile on his face and make him proud of what we've done.
I probably shouldn't have said that, because when I say the little guy got to the championship and won, everybody thinks that's easy to do.
Yeah.
It's not. So sorry for them, dude. Pressure.
That's all right.
I'm gonna go back to you as a player, and I'm not bringing LSU in. I just want to know. Everybody knows the LSU players. Who are some of your favorite that you play with, and tell me why?
For me, I liked Jarrett Mitchell was my roommate, so I loved the way Jarrett played. He was always tough. The thing that I liked about that team the most is they would hold you accountable, right? You were friends, you were boys, but at the end of the day, if you messed up, they weren't afraid to get in your face. A lot of I've seen Ochinko scuffling down in the tunnel before during the middle of the game with guys. I mean, it's unbelievable. But I liked Mitchell. I liked seeing Shemp grow. When Shemp first came in, we called him Top Spin Shemp. All he did was hook balls to the right field, couldn't hit home runs. The guy went and worked his tail off, was relentless. Then he's hitting home runs.
Yeah, didn't he go to the majors a couple years ago and hit like 8 out of his first 10 games or something crazy?
Yeah, I think he hit like the most home runs for a rookie in a month or something like that.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, they were all hardworking and very talented.
But you know what we do here? We get shirts. We give out shirts. We got you one. I think that's pretty close to UNO color. It's either dark navy or something similar.
That's right.
So we got that, and I know you are a bachelor, so we always got to give you that nice gift certificate. Go to Shades L Shades. That's Task Performance on the shirt. Tell me, you've gotten a few before. How do they feel?
Awesome.
You love them?
Yep, I love them. They're light, and I love them.
In that restaurant, you'd be great. And here you go. I'm also going to give you a little Nola Gold. I know you play on Saturdays, but maybe when we go to the playoffs in June, you got 2 free tickets, VIP.
That's right.
Nola Gold. By the way, they do play next week, and we'll get to that later. But thank you, Blake. Appreciate you. I wish you the best. You're one of my favorite guys ever. Continue
Appreciate it.
your success, and I need a couple freebies. We'll see you
got it.
soon.
All right, thanks.
Blake Dean, everybody. Obviously, the great LSU, but he's been at UNO 5 years head coach, and he was a hitting coach there for a little while as well. And the great things. Get on out to the lakefront. Get on out and watch this team, support the team, support all the local baseball you can. There's no baby cakes anymore, so let's get back to the colleges and give them all the support we can. Hey, we're coming right back. It's baseball night. Last week it was rugby night. We're going to continue to do shows like this. Pelicans night's coming up too. But next, we got Tulane head coach Travis Jewett. And boy, did they have a great year last year. Right here on Primetime Sports. Crescent City Steakhouse, a true neighborhood restaurant operated by the Vojkovic family since 1934, is the oldest steakhouse in the city of New Orleans. Serving only hand-cut, prime-aged, corn-fed beef for over 80 years, Crescent City Steakhouse has become a dining destination for both die-hard locals and adventurous travelers who seek traditional, timeless New Orleans cuisine. Crescent City Steakhouse, 1001 North Broad, on the corner of St. Philip, in the heart of New Orleans.
Did you know that GMFS Mortgage is the largest independent mortgage company in Louisiana? Their 250 employees have helped over 79,000 customers make the dream of home ownership come true. They funded over $12.9 billion in loans right here in Southeast Louisiana. If you're ready to buy, build, or renovate a new home, or just need to refinance, call the company born and raised here, GMFS Mortgage.
Rock and roll will never die. It's old New Orleans, my oh my. Come on, baby, let's go rock and roll at the city lane. All night, let's roll, let's rock and roll. Baby, do the rock and roll. At Mid-City Lane's the home of rock and roll.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too.
But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter.
That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 1-800-653-9968.
Hey, welcome back to Primetime Sports. I love this baseball segment. We always do every year, this baseball show. Well, this is the second coach in New Orleans at Tulane University. I love Tulane. I used to go to the games there from when I was 5 years old all the way when I went to college. I still like to go to games. But the head coach, Travis Jewett, you see right here. Hey, how about 2 times in a row he was at Vanderbilt in the national championship game. Once they won it and once they were the runner-up. But he was also a part of a 2010 Arizona State team that went to Omaha that was #1 most of the season. He's a hitting coach, associate head coach in those jobs. Now he's taking Tulane to another level. You know, when you come over, the cover may be a little bare. You start a little slow. You don't give them too much to make you build on. And now watch this thing growing and growing and growing. This team had 2 All-Americans last year. You had one guy that was a first-round pick, Cody Hosey, who was on our show last year. He is with the Los Angeles Dodgers organization now, and so much is going on. The hitting is improved so drastically because that's what this man does. He's also a hitting coach as well as the head coach for the Tulane Green Wave, Travis Jewett. Welcome back, my friend.
Appreciate you having me, Scott.
4th straight year.
4th straight year. We're going to do it again next year, too.
We're going to do it again.
Yeah, and I appreciate, you for sure, and just anytime we can come on and talk about our wonderful university and certainly the kids on our baseball team.
I love it. I love it. And now, I used to be by your house, the studio. Now the studio is literally right next door. You come off the baseball field, and now you're here.
No doubt.
All right.
So no matter what, right, it's just always next door, right?
We'll always get you.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about what's happening this year, but I want to build on the success of last year because it's rare to have 2 guys, like you said, that are All-American type players, and also 6 guys get drafted. That ties the Tulane record. How do you build on that and talk about those guys that are leaving?
Well, those are past experiences, and we talk about those in our program a lot. We need to take the good from last year, and we need to move it forward. So
Absolutely.
I think there's a lot of mirroring going on. I think our kids saw what those guys were capable of, their work ethic, their intent, and I think that just kind of gets passed along. So proud of those guys. For us to take the step forward that we did last year, we got into the winning ledger, finished up in the upper quadrant of the Tough American Athletic Conference,
Very good
which
conference.
was good. We swung the bats very good, as you made mention. We did pitch better, okay, which was part of the reason why we were able to take a move as well. We just weren't quite there in year 3 in terms of the length of the starters to the finishers and things like that. So, when you have that many draft picks, that's a great thing, because they're good enough. But they also can be taken by somebody else, which is Major League Baseball. That's good. The thing that I want to impress upon you and just everybody watching the show is that the cupboard's not bare. We return quite a bit of offense. I think it's a collective 309 or 310 batting average. There's 200 plus RBIs. There's a bunch of those home runs that we hit last year back. So it's not bare. And then what we've done through recruiting, and that's what recruiting is, it's identifying those pockets on your roster that need to be filled in. So we went out and signed, I think, 16 new players on our team.
Wow.
10 of which come from the junior college ranks,
Right.
and then the rest obviously high school. So we feel like we've continued to layer the program well. We feel like in year 4, year 3, we're getting closer. Year 4 now, our monies are kind of where they need to be, which is on the mound, and that's good. And so we've got great character inside of our program. I love this group of kids, Scott, I do. Our way is really good. And then our competition from within is very good. And I think as you're building the program, and I know you probably have that inside of these walls, it's the character of the people and the competition from within.
100%.
Which kind of, iron sharpens iron. And right now we've got that a little bit more. So that's good. We're going to have some tough decisions to make for Friday night, because we do have some competition, but those guys that maybe don't crack the starting 9, they're not far from still inserting themselves. So proud of how some of those guys that are returning have filled in. Really proud of some even the younger kids that maybe names that people wouldn't quite know because they didn't play a lot last year. They've all improved. The junior college kids were good when they got here, or we shouldn't have recruited them, so they're going to hopefully make an immediate impact. So I like the balance of our roster. I do. We've got some right and some left on the mound. We've got some right and left at the plate.
Gotta mix it up.
We can run a little bit. If you would have told me last year going into the season that we were going to hit 90 homers and set 11 American Athletic Conference records.
Unbelievable, man.
And lead the league in 12.
I mean, that's crazy.
I don't know if I would have said yes to that, but so now we've kind of got away, right? And we made a lot of commitment last year to not strike out and be tough with 2 strikes and walk and be tough and get hit by the pitch. And you can't score a run unless you touch first at some point. You know what I mean? So just trying to win the pitch ahead of us and swing at the right pitches and commit to the bases. With our new pitching, Coach Latham, who does a great job, a former Tulane alum, a 3-time Tulane Hall of Famer, right, with the teams that he was on, and now an individual. I feel like we've given him some more bullets to work with. Pitching is everything, and if we can stay in games, then I think we can become a little bit more what we say, always. We can do different things. If we're standing around hitting like we're more than capable of, then I can put my hands in my pocket. But I feel like we can bunt a little bit more now because we're going to be in range. We can hit and run. We can try to steal some more bases, and we can become a little bit more of a threat instead of just trying to stand there and dent the fence all the time. So I feel really good about that. But we're going to start 3 new guys on the weekend, and we've moved some pretty good pitching to the back end of the bullpen, which I think in any elite staff that I've been around, you look at it, it's the back is good. The starting is obviously good, but the guys out there kind of at the end, they shorten the game, and when they get up to start warming up, the other team has a little bit of a fear factor, so to speak. So feel good about that, but again, the unknowing of some of those junior college kids, we'll see how they do, but we're feeling good about it going in.
Everybody, that's Travis Jewett. We're going to wrap this up. By the way, you have a job in television for sure.
Jeez, thank you.
That was awesome because I feel like I don't have any questions left because we hit them all. Before I leave Cozy, I'm going to say one thing. Cody Hosey, you said you had 90 home runs last season. I just remember you sitting in the same seat last year talking about holes to fill because you had some great players from the year before that left. Did you foresee a guy on your team with this isn't like D1 where you have 130 teams in base football? They have 350 or so, right?
Yeah.
So you had a guy leading the entire college baseball in home runs most of the season. I know you're an elite hitting coach, but even you, and my time is running low now, but even you had to be a little surprised by that.
Yeah, no question.
Right.
You know, and Cody just, you know, the evolution of his growth was fun to watch. You know, he certainly got some experiences when he was a young kid, and then he became more mature and he got stronger. Obviously, that's a big part of our program. And then what he really did, and what all athletes need to do, is understand their body, how their swing or their craft works. He started to understand the bottom of the ball, really how people were going to try to pitch him. You know, he was on time for a lot of pitches that he was looking for, so to speak, and then when he got them, he just didn't miss them. So it was fun to watch, you know. And I'll tell you, quick story, you know, you made mention about Hosey and leading the nation for most of the year, and home runs are right up in there. J.J. Blade was the other one from Vanderbilt. I signed him. I signed him when I was there too, so I'm watching the two guys that, you know, one I recruited and one I was fortunate enough to coach, but it was fun. I'm real proud of him. Cody's a very humble kid, great teammate, you know, and I think we have another player in Hudson Haskin that was the freshman All-American last year.
That's going to be big.
That you know, has a chance to replicate that.
Center field?
Yep, center field.
Yeah.
You know, the name, too, that I'll throw out there for you and the fans out there is Ty Johnson. You know,
Ty Johnson,
he was, he's our Energizer Bunny, man. He's a positive life
I remember talking about Ty last year.
Yeah, and got off to a great start, but he's such an aggressive kid that he stole a base and his thumb kind of ended up back towards his elbow. So that ended his season. That was a big loss in a lot of ways. So to have him back healthy, we've tried to put him in shrink wrap, you know, for the fall and the spring, because he would run into everything in this room through his aggressiveness and his eagerness. And so to get him back, that's a big deal. You return J.J. Artigues, who's a preseason
Remember him from last year.
Love him. You know, when I got here, it's kind of left for naught, you know, him and Grant Matthews, and they've just turned into really good players and great leaders in our program. So feel pretty good about what's going on.
I appreciate you, man. They show me zeros on the clock right there. This isn't like baseball. We get the innings. When they show zeros, I got to run.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, you're always one of my favorite guys. I love having you on, and I appreciate you letting me come stand behind you sometimes or sit behind you at the Tulane games. I love doing it. Task Performance. You ever heard of those guys?
Absolutely.
Do you love them?
I do.
Or do you just like them?
I love them.
You love them.
This will be maybe my third or fourth shirt now.
It's
I
probably
got
your
all kinds
fourth.
of different colors.
That's right. It might be your third because I did start that later. We got a new
wear
one
them
there.
all the time.
Shays de la Shays right down the street from you, and I got this, the NOLA Gold. When they're in the playoffs, when your season's done, I got you 2 VIP. Make it 4 if you need them, because you are Travis Jewett, Tulane.
You can be my VIP anytime. Thank
I
you very much.
appreciate you, and I will. Hey, get out to Tulane. I said it before, go to UNO games and go to Tulane games. Support your local baseball. There's no minor league here anymore. Get into college baseball. If you're not already there, go. It's one of the best times you'll have on a Sunday or Saturday afternoon or even Friday night. Hey, I got to run right now. We had a great segment. That was one of the best sound bites I've ever heard. Travis Jewett, Blake Dean, thank you. Thank you for everybody here at Loyola. And we'll see you next week right here on Primetime Sports.
Well, it's funny that you say that. Let me tell you.